The conflict in Iran has spread to Qatar in a big way. Qatar is a net exporter of something called LNG, liquid natural gas, and they are one of the biggest exporters in the world. At least 20 to 25% of the world's supply of LNG are coming from Qatar. And about a week ago, they got struck, one of their biggest manufacturing facilities. And now we see force majeure from Shell, one of the big US companies in the region. And we just see this situation escalating more and more. And this will have implications on the global energy markets, especially. Hurt will be some countries in East Asia, for example, South Korea, Japan, China, etc. So I have to walk you through the situation, what's going on, and the approach going forward. So, we were hit by this news today. Shell declares force majeure to clients who buy Qatari liquid natural gas, sources say. And this is not strange because basically last week Qatar shut down a lot of their production. And Shell, which is a company that operates in the area through Qatar Energy, where they buy their liquid gas, they have sell that to clients worldwide. And if the production is halted or shut down, obviously Shell can't fulfill their duties to their clients, and they have to use a force majeure, or they will be liable to not being able to provide the services required and being sued. So this is something companies must do in a situation like this, and it's very specific and actually quite risky situation we're going through here in terms of the energy supply to the world. And I'm going to show you the regions here that are especially affected by the situation going on in Qatar here. And Qatar is also affected by the situation in the Strait of Hormuz that probably a lot of you have heard about the latest weeks. And where Iran basically are now stating they are putting out mines here to shut down boats from going through the canal. So this is probably a long-going situation. So this is not just oil there that is being hit; it's also the LNG markets getting hit big time. So other Qatari LNG buyers, including Total Energies and some Asian companies, have received force majeure notices from Qatar and told customers they would not be selling them Qatar liquid gas as long as the facilities remain shut. Obviously, a person familiar with the matter said that Total Energies has not declared force majeure yet, and they are used to describe events outside the company's control, like this, a war. So it's not strange that they are using this shell, and it will probably be more companies that continue to that have like partnership with Qatar Energy will use force majeure because they don't want to be liable to not being able to provide the LNG to the world. Analyst estimates that Shell takes 6.8 MTPA of Qatar. Basically the amount. So they are actually more than about 15% of everything they produce in Qatar are going to these two companies. So they have a lot of business going on here. The Qatari Energy Minister Saad Al Kaabi told the Financial Times last week that it would take weeks to months to return to normal deliveries, even if the war ended today. So this is not just a situation where their facilities are being struck by drones. It's also about the nature of being insured when you have these type of businesses going on, going with boats through areas where there is war. You can't insure your products, your boats, etc., meaning it's impossible to in a certain safe way continuing the business as usual. So this is a very complex situation at the moment here. Even though if it was possible for them to kind of continue the facilities and repair, it would still be hard in terms of a war going on in the region to just continue operations as normal. And I will show you a map soon how this where Qatar is in relation to like Saudi, Iran, and the Strait of Hormuz, so you understand what I'm talking about. Sources that have told Reuters last week that the force majeure notices sent to clients stated that liquid natural gas deliveries for March will not be affected, with the impact being felt as of April. So this is something that will hit, obviously, and it's a very very serious matter. I will show you the type of countries that are affected here, especially in the Qatar situation. But indirectly, I think the whole world will be affected by what's going on, and we're already seeing it through the price of diesel and other um, um, type of like what do you call it? Like when you fill gas for your car, gasoline, etc. So here is the volume of liquefied natural gas transported through the Strait of Hormuz, and most of it are from Qatar. Qatar are the producer of LNG in this region. And you see here, they are selling it to China, India, Taiwan, South Korea, Pakistan, other Asian countries, for example, Japan. In Europe, Italy mostly, and some other European countries. So this is the type of countries that will be very hard hit by the situation and the shutdown in Qatar at the moment. And obviously, China, India, etc., all Western countries are using these countries to um, build and create all things basically that are cheap labor. So this will indirectly impact inflation and such things for people in the West, USA, Europe, etc. And also, I think, for example, South Korea, which have a lot of very important manufacturing at the moment. We have SK Hynix and Samsung that has or are like producing the very most important memory chips at the moment, the RAM for similar to Micron, but also Samsung are doing the NAND um, memory for the AI solutions. They are the type of memory that also SanDisk is doing. That are also very, what can I say, a crisis in terms of the price situation for these type of memory chips at the moment. So South Korea being hit very hard with this situation is not good for the AI markets, and yeah, this could impact everyone that builds computers, use AI, use any tech basically, or licenses, Microsoft license. Everything can be affected long term if this continues. So think about that. This is not something that is just locally. This will affect inflation everywhere if it continues because all the systems here are integrated. But it will actually hurt these countries like Taiwan and South Korea in a big way, and they are really in need of the import of liquid natural gas to these regions in the world. So think and feel that. I also know that Qatar are planning to improve and expand their footprint in the liquid natural gas market, going up with about 65% until 2030 or something like that, meaning that they will continue to be a global player. And this can, or maybe it will, change the trajectory of the growth, and will also impact maybe long term the growth of countries in this region of the world. So we will see what happens. So here you have a map of the region we are talking about, and sometimes you need that map to really get a picture of where we are in the world. Sometimes people are talking about the Strait of Hormuz, Iran, Qatar, etc. But sometimes it's important to really to have that view to see, oh, they are getting stuck in this crunch point of Strait of Hormuz. And if you see this through the Qatar perspective, Qatar, who really depends on the growth of their liquid natural gas here, that is what is the future of Qatar and why they have become an important player in the region. To secure this long term, they actually have a plan B, and I'm going to show you here. If you see this road, alternative road here, that is marked with yellow, that is called something a road through the Sea of Oman, and these routes are actually giving Qatar some geographic flexibility that some other countries do not have. So they do not have to put all their liquid natural gas through the Strait of Hormuz. Usually they do that because that's the easiest thing to do, but they do have this alternative route, and I think I have not digged in it too much, but I think they can maybe add some pressure on that route and make more of their liquid natural gas going through that route instead. Obviously, if this conflict escalate continues and Iran use drones in this alternative route also, that won't be possible because of insurance, etc., and feasibility of the operation. But maybe they will be able to do it because it's a bit further from the war and the Strait of Hormuz, etc. So we will see what's going on. But if they can use that alternative route, maybe they could mitigate some of the risk for themselves and for the other countries we have talked about here today, and therefore long term secure some of their client base. So I think that is important because if these continue on this liquid natural gas crisis continue, we will have a lot higher prices in Asia, and this will affect the world indirectly long term with inflation, etc. That will because we are big consumers, especially from South Korea, manufacturing, Taiwan, etc. And obviously China, India, indirectly. Even though I think these type of countries are so big, they can maybe use more of Russian oil, for example. Even though it's not a maybe the war in Iran leading to Russia selling more oil to China and India is not the best strategic move. I would say it's a possibility that happened if this became or becomes a long war that is ongoing, so to speak. So we will see what's happening and how it will affect the world long term. But the latest 3 to 5 years, at least Europe has depended less on Qatar and tried to focus more on their own supply, for example, from Norway, from USA, etc. So yeah, this is where we are at the moment, and the biggest crisis might be for the East Asia if this continue.